Hello all and welcome to week 1 of 2710, Diversity and Cultural Competency Skills in Human Services. This is going to be our first recording of week 1. I'll try to do these weekly as often as I can. Sometimes I'll do podcasts. I do a lot of driving, so podcasts work better. Let's go to the next slide. These are our objectives for this week. The biggest ones are understanding the syllabus, hopefully feeling confident that me as your instructor can help you. Oh, I just realized I have to change that. My apologies. Sometimes I do this. It's easier if I can reuse some PowerPoints, but I don't always change the slides like I should. Express confidence in that I can teach this course, and also that you understand that you have field placement requirements to fulfill. Now, I've informed you that in an email, but I will know that by your completion of the first orientation or by letting me know that it's just not something you can do, which I know some people have. So really we'll talk about who am I, who are you. We're actually not going to talk about field placement here. I'm going to make sure that's true for next week. We'll do this. This will be pretty short then. Okay. Who am I? Syllabus overview, quick Blackboard site review. Then I'm going to orient us all to cultural competence and why it's important. And then we'll really be done. So these are the slides of who I am and like my past experience teaching. The parts that are going to be important are the fact that I taught in Providence. For the most of my teaching career, I worked in Providence the entire time. I lived in Providence the entire time that I lived in Rhode Island. But I've also taught courses in diversity and cultural competency skills at UNH, and as well as focused on those elements when I was in my coursework at UNC. So I've done a lot of my own work on diversity and cultural competence, and that's mostly because of where I'm from. So as you can see, I was born and raised in New Hampshire, a state that at the time that I left was 94% white. Hasn't really changed. So although I work in Rhode Island, I still live in New Hampshire. And part of that is because I don't get the same diversity and exposure to a lot of unique personalities that I would if I had stayed in New Hampshire working. But that said, I have quite the commute because I refuse to leave my home. I won't go through all of these, but you can see that I have a lot of animals. I have a lot of creatures and people in my life that I care about. And a lot of that revolves around what I also love, which is I love animals. I wish someday I could have a farm, be a farmer. After my teaching career is done. I love hiking, hence New Hampshire. I live on a mountain. I love my somewhat step kiddos, Leslie and Grayson. And of course, I'm not perfect. I love a lot of trashy reality TV. But the one I love the most is The Challenge. And I could talk about that every day. All right, you've read the rest of this. You don't need to hear all of it. Let's go to the syllabus. And so I want to do this way. So here I'm on 2710. As you can see, I've already put a second version of the syllabus up, and I will continue to do that. Make sure it's the right one. Sorry, that's not this class, but that doesn't mean it was the wrong syllabus. Oh no. There. So here is our syllabus for 2710. Let me just do something quickly. We don't need the markup, you know. No markup. All right, so here is our syllabus. As you can see, there is a book available through Cengage MindTap. Here there are weekly discussions, MindTap activities, midterm. I still have some changes to make to the syllabus, so expect that will happen. Here I made some changes to the point system. I don't like the exams counting for so many points, so I decreased that. I added the chapter presentations that we are doing at the end of the semester, and those are just things you'll be recording and posting to the discussion board section of Blackboard. I'll show you the mind tap activities at the end. Your field placement is a large part of your grade. You have a final journal reflection. You'll complete 5 journal entries. You'll have your timesheets, although I'll tell you your timesheets are not as necessary. More that you completed the time and that it is clearly written on Inspiring Minds. You don't need to have any timesheets completed. But you do need to make sure you have a teacher evaluation completed, and that will be available on Blackboard. As well, you'll see you'll have 2-minute essays, syllabus scavenger hunts, other activities to do throughout the semester, so be prepared for those. And then you'll see, did I mention the thing I keep forgetting to mention? I don't know how it wouldn't be on this particular, no. So you will have a question about critical deadlines on your syllabus. And I don't think that the information on critical deadlines is, yeah. So you will see that I have critical deadlines for assignments, and there is special instructions for what to do. I'm going to add that, but basically you email me if you can't make the original date and then turn the assignment in by the critical deadline. But I need to change that because it's not listed there. Oops, sorry. I think that's all I want to point out. Just be sure you're aware of what's due. I think most of you are aware of what you have to do this week. Next week we start Mind Tap, and here is where you find what you need to do for Mind Tap. This week, I just want you to get the book. Next week, I'm going to want you to engage with the course content. And here I will show you. So here is the book on Mind Tap. That's the cover. And this is my course page, which looks a little bit different from yours. So I apologize for that. And here is where you find the activities. Look at this introduction. There's 8 activities. That's your polling question. You'll see a chapter quiz. Here's your reading. And then you'll see some other activities to help with keeping up with your understanding. These are the activities that will match what is listed on MindTap, on the MindTap course schedule. So that's where you'll find that information. And then let's go to the Blackboard site as well. So here's Blackboard. I already know I'm going to need to make a change. So just be aware that I'm going to keep updating and uploading new syllabi. I want you to know if I don't keep the old ones, you might not know what's changed. So I'm going to keep the old versions and just keep adding updated syllabi, and you'll see another one, if not today, by tomorrow morning. Discussion board, you'll see I'm going to add these over time, but this is one of the assignments that you'll need to do for this week. Here are your instructions for accessing Cengage Mind Tap. And then here's how I've handled assignments. What I did is I put I'm going to add each week to the assignment descriptions, as well as the major assignments will be added there separately as well. But then here, if you're wondering where to submit, you submit each of these assignments here, and you'll see it's a clear submission section. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else you will yet need in the syllabus, but pay attention. I will use the weekly content and the assignments tabs. And then when the exams are placed in there, you'll have them in a separate tab, okay? All right, let's go back. So I went over some syllabus stuff, the Blackboard site. All right, so let's change a little bit, Vera course. And I just want to know, why are you here? What led you to decide to take a course on diversity and cultural competency skills? And I know I won't see this, but I still want you to do the exercise. Take a minute, write down your thoughts. What's your why? What brought you here? All right. Now, I told you I don't want to do this for too long. Before I start, I just want you to know this is kind of an introduction to why cultural competence is important. I do think this video is a bit heavy-handed in how it shares, but it communicates kind of the things we need to keep in mind if we're going to become culturally competent, either educators, helpers of some sort, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, counselors, social workers, whatever it is that brought you into this course in human services. These are things that you will encounter. Oh, that's right. I just realized, I'm not sure if you could hear it. So something I forgot was that in my previous video, I'm using my laptop, which although I know the microphone works, I'm not sure if that means you can hear what's actually coming through on my speakers because my speakers don't work. So what I'm going to ask is on your own time, watch this video to kind of give you an idea to the different things we might be missing related to cultural competence and why it's important. I apologize for that. I realized after the fact that you might not be able to hear it. So again, I'm going to post the slideshow. I believe I posted on here, and that's how I accessed it. So you can access the slideshow as well. Okay. All right, and that's really all I have. I want to make these, I made the mistake last semester of making these too long. They're going to be short and sweet. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.